G'day there, I've been cycling across the US, alone and unsupported. In this video I cycled along the KATY trail from Clinton to Machen's in Missouri, a distance of 383 kilometres or 238 miles. The KATY trail follows the old route of the Missouri-Kansas-Texas Railroad, the MKT, which gave the trail its name. It starts in Clinton, goes northeast until Boonville on the Missouri River, then follows the river downstream to St. Charles. The weather was hot, but the trail was well shaded, and as usual, there was so much to see. It was amazing to think that the Lewis and Clark expedition sailed, rowed and towed their boats up the Missouri River 220 years ago, while Daniel Boone and his family were roaming around the same forest and hills. By the end of the first day, I had seen a big flag on a train, learnt that the big yellow flowers are called ashy sunflowers, avoided getting shot and arrived at the most magnificent campground. So it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning, which probably makes this probably one of the laziest starts I've had at all on this whole trip so far, because I'm in this beautiful campground and I've only got a short way to go today, so I'm just taking it easy. And now I want to show a bit of the campground that I'm at. It's a private one, cost me $20 US for the night. And what I really like about this campground and all of the towns that I'm riding through is there are no fences between the houses. It's just acres and acres of lawn and houses sprinkled around on the lawn. So over there, directly ahead, is the neighbour's house, not belonging to this place. This is the campground. In there are the showers and toilets. Over there is a collection of houses. The owner of this campground lives in one of those houses there. And there's a cabin. As you can see, there are no fences anywhere. There's another cabin, camping areas with rubbish bins and a bit of a garden. And through there is the trail that I'm riding on. And in this shed here is all sorts of bike repair equipment. There's a thing you can lock your bike up with, or two. Seats. There are a couple of old gentlemen came here last night and they slept in here rather than putting up a tent. Enough stuff for cooking, coffee, fridge. It's all available for only $20, including a freshly laundered towel to use after a shower. How good is that? I'd love to be a camera person for David Attenborough, but I don't think that I have the patience to wait for hours until the tortoise decides to do something. Bit disappointed I didn't get any action out of that tortoise, but there are many butterflies, and where there are butterflies there are often caterpillars, and the caterpillars, they are full of action. So now I'm riding slowly to see if I can find a caterpillar. See a tortoise on the road ahead of me. Let's see if I can get up without scaring him. Here we have the highest point on the whole KATY trail. There's the high point shelter. I was told to look out for an interesting picture, and this is what I found. It's the only picture here. Felt obligated to get high here twice. Just listen to these cicadas. This tree must be just chockers full of them. Let's see if I can find some. All along the route, I was able to read stories of settlement and conflict in the early days of the American Union. Daniel Boone's sons established a salt-making business at Boone's Lick, while Booneville was the site of one of the earliest battles of the Civil War. I had to ride down Lard Hill. According to local legend, the hill was named after a KATY train killed a woman's pig but refused to pay her more than $5. To receive justice, she melted down the fat of the pig into lard. Each morning for weeks afterwards, she and her children covered the tracks along the grade with the lard, forcing trains to slip and skate uphill. Needless to say, the railroad gave in and made full compensation. This Boonslick region was the very edge of white settlement for a while, and the people here often had issues with the local Indian people whose lands they were taking. On one occasion, Indians surrounded Fort Cooper and prepared to launch a fierce attack. The outnumbered settlers knew that their only hope would be to send someone to Fort Hempstead for help. No man could be spared, so 16-year-old Millie volunteered. When she mounted the settlement's fastest horse, her father asked her if there was anything she needed. She replied, "Only a spur, father." It was supplied. The gate swung open and Millie galloped away at full speed. Watching from inside, the family could see that she had been wounded, but had no way of knowing the severity. Hours had passed, and the settlers were nearly out of ammunition when Millie returned with men from Fort Hempstead, saving Fort Cooper. This is something nice. There's a bit of a food store, a snack store with an honour system. I've just checked and I know what I want. But anyway, there are pot plants and pictures and electrolyte drinks and other drinks that go with the bottled water from the fridge. And there's other, lavender sugar and vanilla sugar and all sorts of bits and pieces, and some cookies, and you can have a hot drink. There's the money box where you put your money in. And in the fridge are all sorts of cold drinks. And I'm going to buy a packet of snakes. So I have 2 $1 notes and 4 quarters, and in they go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 $1 notes. Right, today is day 4 of cycling the KATY trail. We have cycled 66 kilometres today, and I'm absolutely buggered. There's actually a bike under there.
You're pretty dusty yourself.
Yeah, there's my alarm, stoplight. You wouldn't even be able to see that that's a stoplight at the moment. One filthy bike. Yes, just as well that I have the carbon. Look, all that dust there. See, just as well I have the carbon belt because I don't actually have to clean it. Yeah, it's dusty. But so what? We don't have a table this time, but we have some logs to sit on. There are some other people over there, and there is the Missouri River. Over there in the distance is a grocery store, and there's a food van, and there are porta potties, and there is one very primitive shower, but that's all good. Yeah, this is Cooper's Landing on the Missouri River in Missouri of the US.
She calls me Goliath with David Mass. Guess those stones are coming too fast for her now. No, I'd like to believe this nervousness of chaos. All the stones are thrown, they're building up the wall. I have become cumbersome to this world. I have become cumbersome to my girl.
This tortoise was just as immobile as all the others previously. In fact, the only movement I got was from my wobbly camera hand. So I decided to walk up to the tortoise and see if I could get any action. But nothing, just a rock tortoise. Even the berries showed more signs of life than the rock tortoise. I started to come across more information panels about the Lewis and Clark expedition. It was here that Captain Lewis discovered a new species, the eastern wood rat. Meanwhile, the scenery was rather amazing, just too beautiful. And the information panels kept coming as I followed the river downstream. I passed through Rhineland with its lovely churches and barns. While in Herman, I was mainly interested in the washing machines. More nature, more Daniel Boone and more Lewis and Clark, and yet another motionless tortoise. I camped one night in Klondike Park, from where a very steep descent took me back down to the trail the next morning. Past some rather large butterflies, and into the chaos of St Charles. I just love those trains. They really reminded me of so much of my journey across the US. And on my last day, I found the most energetic creature of the whole trip, a caterpillar on steroids, racing his little body to get across the vast expanse of this wide, dusty road. A bit like me battling my way across the US on my bicycle. So I've arrived at Machin's, which is the beginning or the end of the KATY Trail. And now that I've finished the KATY Trail, it's time to think about the next step, because I actually need to fly home in about 3 or 4 weeks. So I made the momentous decision yesterday to ride to Chicago and try and fly out from there. So from here I have to get on to Route 66 again, because it goes through St Louis, so it's not that far away, and then I'll just follow it all the way into Chicago.